Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us for another video. I know it's been a few. These last couple of weeks were rough. As you guys saw, the machine was down. Then I broke my tooth, but got it fixed. It's all good. No worries. Today we're gonna be working on a Kobe inspired sweatshirt. So we got your gold, and of course we're gonna put some stuff on with purple thread. We're gonna be adding Kobe's both numbers. So we got the number 8, I think, on the left sleeve, and the 24 not on the sleeve but kind of like on the forearm. So we're gonna be hooping that up. I might go through that quick because I want to get to the neck area. We're gonna be putting Mamba right underneath that Kobe, so it's gonna be along this curve, and then Forever, which kind of wraps around from the front part of it to the back, to the side and back part of it. We're gonna be hooping that in 2 parts using our round hoop and the tajima. So I'll show you guys my technique to make sure that we get it close to the line without going over it, and how I digitize it a little bit. Here's how I have it now, the Forever. I'll show you guys a little bit more on that in a bit. What we first got to do is cut out 2 pieces to the size of this hoop. Also, since we are going to be putting it through the, not through the sleeve, but it's going to be on the sleeve part of it, I tape these down because I do have to push the ring through the tight fabric, and I need the stabilizer to hold. So just like that, we're putting it through the neck and sliding it down the sleeve. So the 8 goes on the right, and kind of like going off of my shirt, I'm gonna say like 3 fingers down from this seam right here. Whoop. Like that. So this one's not that hard to hoop because it's wide up here. The 24 will probably have a little bit more trouble, but nothing we can't handle. There it is. We got the 8 on there. Number 7, that's where I got the purple. Now we just line it up. Press OK. I have my design, so I'm pointing at the top of it. And there it is. I'm lining it up with the crease. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but the crease of the shirt is right there. The sweater's not that tight, but I don't think it'll be an issue. Let's run it. I'm gonna do the same thing for the 24. It's just gonna be right here in the front, and then I'll show you guys how it looks, and then we'll get into more detail on doing the collared part of the design. Just real quick so you guys can see, that's the 24 right there. I still hooped it through the sleeve. You just gotta make sure you have space and you're keeping an eye on it. Make sure that the hoop doesn't pop off because of how tight it gets, or that maybe it has a cap, but some machines don't have the cap out here in here, like the Melco. It's out in the open a little bit. It has this, but you know, you can still get fabric stuck in there, so just keep an eye on it. Here we got it, 24 on the left forearm and the 8. It's looking clean so far, and then adding this on the collar is really gonna put it together. Just the colors alone, I mean, gold and purple, it screams Lakers. So just adding these little accents, it's gonna look clean. All right, I'm gonna try my best to explain this to you guys. feel like I'm not that great at explaining things in great detail, but I guess nothing too crazy here. So this is our final image design, what we're trying to go for. This is how we start off. I just typed it out, Flare script. It's just the font that comes with the software. And then we're gonna go down here and use this circle CCW, it says. I hope you guys waking. Over here to the right. Oh. And then it makes this curve. A couple things we want to do is change that curve down here, baseline radius. I believe I found 3 was good for me. Yeah, it needs very little curve. It'll naturally curve having the sweater on, so you don't need anything crazy. Again, this is kind of like trial and error, so we're gonna break this apart just to unite these, since it is a cursive font. Just like that. You make it bigger. What do I have mine as? 3, almost 3.5. So, and as you can see, the M goes a little bit higher than the A naturally. So what I like to do is even it out, because when I'm hooping, I'm trying to hoop as even as possible on the collar. So here it barely goes around that line, so that's good for me. Now the second thing that I do that helps me line up to the neck just about perfectly is I'll create my own underlay, which is gonna stitch out first. It's gonna be the same color as the letters. And the thing is, I'm not even gonna stitch this out. I'm just gonna use this to trace forward. Or not trace, but to move the design forward. The important thing is just to get the highest parts of the letter. So just like that. Yeah, actually it doesn't even need to be the same color, it doesn't matter. This is gonna go first, so when I start the design, I'm gonna mark the point on the sweater where I'm doing my trace, and then I'm gonna see how high up the machine's gonna embroider alongside of the neck, and then I'll know if it's going too high. Then I'll just rewind the design. I'll move it lower based on that point that I did, which you'll see right now, and fix it until it's perfect. Okay, I hope I can get a good enough angle here. I know we're working on this side, so this time I'm leaving it this size. I don't have to make it the perfect size. I'm not taping it. What we're going for is right here. Starting off, this is the middle of the sweater. I want to start it off right here. I think I ended up doing 3.6. So from here to here. All I'm trying to do is get this ring here like perfectly straight. It's hard to say what straight is, because it like maybe it could work this way, but no it can't. Let's let's see. This is how I do my things. I'm not a pro. Kind of just as we go, I figure things out. Oh, what we could do here is line up the sweatshirt based on this notch here and this notch here and the neckline. See what I mean? So then all I would do is figure out how high or low I'm gonna be putting this on, running the trace to make sure it doesn't hit this line, and we'll be good. All right, I just put the stabilizer. I'm gonna put the bottom part of the hoop in there just to make sure we got stabilizer covering the area. Oh, I hate it when I gotta fix the hoop. Like I literally just used it. I just hooped something, and then this time I gotta loosen it. Like, what? There we go. There it is. So it's like this. And when I hoop it, I'm gonna try to get as close to here as possible, because the second part of the design is forever. That should start somewhere here. If the design starts ends over here. The forever is going to be on this back part, which is not what we're going for. So we're going to start off here. Hopefully it ends somewhere here, and we start the forever right after. Here we go. Let's try this out. So right now I am centered in the hoop. Right now, this is just my first guess. Got the red dot here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place a tape. That way any changes that I need to do, they'll be based on that point, and I can be getting closer and closer each time I make a change. So from here I am going to fast forward, which this is going to be the single stitch that we did, kind of like the underlay, just to get an idea here of. So this is the ending of the A, the top of B right there. That's M. It's working backwards. A, B. That's the M and the top of the M. I'm gonna lower it a little bit and probably scoot it over to the left a bit. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning, back here. Now I know I want to go a little bit lower and move the frame to the right, so my design is more to the left. I'm gonna take this tape and move it on the dot once again. So I'm seeing this as well, like what I'm saying is the top of the letter. That's where it's at, which is right here. I could go a little bit higher, or I could leave it there. This all depends stuff, you know. It's all on you guys. But I am gonna move it just a little bit. Again, move the design up and to the left. Don't think I need this anymore. Battery's about to die, so I'm gonna leave this with the time lapse. But all I did was rewind to 0, and we started off. Here it is. I just unhooped it. Looks good. I think this twist that I had right here was too much, a little bit too much this way. It needed to have been a little bit more like this, so that you guys know what I mean, right? Because it's kind of like curving real tight in here. And also, I think that was based on the fact that what I said about having these points. For this one, I'm gonna keep this one a little bit higher. It is a capital letter, so it should be higher. It would have been if I would have kept it, if I would have done the same on this one. So we'll see how that comes out. And I just got to make sure. I did the same thing. I curved it. I put 3 down here. Right now, I'm just going to like lay it on top of here. Let me group it, because I got to make sure that it's like pretty much like the same size. It's a bigger, longer word, but I can't just make it. I can't just say like, no, well, I want this this word to be 5 inches. Like this one was 3.5. What was it? 3.5. So I want this one to be 5 inches. It's a bigger word, because then this one's gonna be huge compared to that one. So not much you could do there. If you already chose your font and your size, it's best to stick with it. Hopefully we line it up well enough to where, you know, we get that nice natural flow. Is what we're aiming for right here. I stretched out the sweater in this way now because this is how it's gonna go. I am gonna make a mark, let's see, somewhere around here where I think the forever should start. Actually, I'm going to scoot this over a little bit, because this design is only 3.6, the forever. So if we start it here, it barely makes it over the shoulder. And I think the whole point is kind of like having it wrap. It would have been great to have it equally, wrap around, but we can't, so I'm not gonna push it too much. Actually, I don't even know if I moved it at all, but I'd rather not push it and have it look awkward, like really spaced out. So I'm gonna keep it there. It's gonna go up to 3.6, so just around here. I think that's fine. Let's try to set up the stabilizer first. Such an awkward position. So we have to make sure on this left side that we have enough space so that we can actually start it on that point. Did I leave it too loose? Anyways, that looks all right with me. I'm actually gonna go ahead and tighten the hoop a little bit. Once again, we're gonna start off with that dot there. Put a mark. And we'll forward. Okay, at least we're starting from this side now. So here we're on the F. Not sure if you can see here real quick, just so you at the tip, the ending of the F, and already we're too far to the right. Sorry. It's production value, you know? Before I get too ahead of myself, I'm gonna go ahead and move it first this way. So then I could just worry about going up and down. Okay, I might do a little bit more. It's like on the... Ooh, that might be good. Alright, let's keep it going. I'm gonna move it a little bit higher and to the left, I think. Dang it. Okay. Let's check that out. Yeah, I mean, it would have been better if the word was longer, because it's barely reaching here. But not much we could do about that. I'm good with that. The final result's gonna look perfect. That's just how I would want it to be. But hey, it doesn't have to exactly be that way, and however it comes out, if you did a good job, it's gonna look great. So I just rewound to the beginning. Be kind, rewind. Check the bottom. Running the purple again. Here we go. Just unhooped it, guys, and here it is, finished product. I still have to remove the stabilizers from the sleeves, but here it is. That's clean. I think that's pretty clean. Really note this, I like this. I think it came out pretty perfect. I wish the Mamba had just been a little bit angled this way, and it would have looked even a little bit better, but nonetheless, that's great. I'm gonna try it on, see how it fits. Fix the light. There it is. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty clean. 8. You got the 24. That was supposed to be on the other side. It's fine. Well, not on the other side, a little bit more this way, but bam, bam, bam. That's it for this one, guys. Projects like these, they're a little bit more time consuming, especially just doing, you know, one, but it's alright. It's also great practice. What's popular pretty much year round is this type of design around here, but it says like mother, grandma, you know, we've done those before. So with this design, we had the challenge of trying to make it look natural and just hooping it twice. Sometimes hooping it once it could be a little tricky. So, but don't be afraid to try it. I've messed up plenty of sweaters before trying to do this type of curve and design. So you get better as time goes along. I think it looks great. Let me know what you guys think. But that's it for this one, guys. I appreciate the likes, the comments, and the subs, of course. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Deuces.